Hi, this is Cody from Mail Protector, and I just wanted to go over the MX-less bracket configuration for G Suite. So the first thing we're going to want to do is we're going to want to add a domain. Once we add a domain, we can give it the domain name that you're going to be working with. In my case, it's testgooglemailprotector234.net. And the second option is down here under email delivery. We're going to want to select the right-hand option, which is going to have us keep the current MX records. You'll note that this hosting button is not changeable. You're just going to leave it on Office 365, even though I know we're setting up Google Workspace. And we're going to make sure encryption is turned on as well. Once this is all set up, we can go ahead and click Add Domain. And it's going to drop us into a user sync section. We want to ignore this completely for Google. So we're going to actually jump over to the users section of the console. And we're going to add the users that we want to have bracket. So in this case, you can add the users manually one by one if you only have a few to add. If you have a bulk add that you want to do, you're going to want to import the users. And you're going to want to use this need help creating user list to download a CSV template. All in all, how this works is if the users are in the console for bracket, they will be licensed to use bracket. If they're not in the console, they will not be licensed to use bracket. So if they don't need bracket, don't put them in here. If they do need bracket, you can go ahead and add them in the console this way, and we'll go ahead and license them. Once the users are added, which is the first step, the rest of the configuration is in the admin console for Google. So we're going to go to the Google admin console, and then we're going to go ahead and navigate to Gmail. So on the left-hand side, we can select apps. We can go down to Gmail. And the first thing we need to do is configure the host. So we're going to go ahead and select the host button. And you can see I've already configured mine, this MX-less bracket host. What you're going to want to do is click Add Route, and then it will give you these options to configure. You're going to put in the name of the route, and then you're going to simply say single host, and then make sure you're pointing to encrypt.bracket.email over port 25. This will point this host directly to the bracket system, so you don't have to worry about anything else. You really just want to make sure these two checkboxes are checked, and then you can hit save. Once this is configured, there's only one more step actually. So we'll go to the Gmail space again, jump back over here. And the next step is going to be to scroll down to the compliance section. Once we're under compliance, we can go ahead and scroll down a little bit to the content compliance. Again, you can see I've already created the rule here, but if there's rules in place, you can add another route. You can also, utilize this route that I'm recommending, but you can actually have multiple things pointing to the MX-less bracket host in this case if you want to. In this example, I'm going to use the bracket rule that we just use as a default, so we can say bracket rule mail protector. For this, we can affect outbound email, which means email coming from your users out to the internet. You can also, and this is optional, include internal sending, which would mean your internal users sending to your other internal users would also have the potential to use bracket. Again, this is totally optional though. You can just affect outbound if you want. The next thing we're going to want to do is set up what is going to trigger the bracket host. So we're going to say, if any of the following match the message, and then we're going to go ahead and click add to this expression. Once we're in here, we're going to drop this down and use the advanced content match. Then we're going to select the location as the subject of the email, and then we're going to say contains text. And the content is going to be a little bit of regex. It's going to be / bracket period asterisk / closing bracket. This is going to make it so if there's an opening bracket in the subject and a closing bracket in the subject, it will trigger to use the bracket host. So we're going to hit save here. And then the next thing we need to do is click change route. Once we click change route, we can adjust the normal routing option to route to MX-less bracket. Once we hit save, this is fully completed and MX-less bracket will work for the users you've added to the console. If you have any questions, let me know. Thank you very much. Bye.